The Phoenicians brought many cereals to Sicily such as the lentils and the durum wheat, which makes the best pasta. The Phoenicians introduced the plants of figs and knew how to dry them in the sun. This made the figs last all the year and provided a snack which was a good traveling food.
The Greeks invented the oldest type of Sicilian cheese, called pecorino siciliano, made from sheep's milk. This cheese is not made anywhere in the world outside Sicily, and it has a DOC controlled origin, marking from the Italian government, which means it's illegal to make it anywhere. Octopus and squid, dished in Sicily, are also tradition originating with the Greek colonies.
The Romans ate far more fish than meat and established oyster farms around Sicily. Seafood salad is one of the great Roman contributions to Sicilian cuisine. The Romans introduced the use of agrodolce, sweet and sour style cooking. Two of the classic Sicilian agrodolce dishes are pumpkin and liver.
During the 11th century, the Arabs filled the island with citrus fruit trees of all varieties. Ancient people considered that citrus trees gifts from God because they could cure the life of many people. They could last months on the trees and they could be carried on long journeys without spoiling. The Arabs introduced into the island a great number of fruits, spices, and vegetables, many of which still carry their Arab names. Carob, from the Arabic karub, jasmine, pistachio, sugarcane, and a type of grapevine, which is also a name of a well-known wine, ribibbo. The Arabs brought also to Sicily apricots, sugar beet, melons, rice, pine nuts, pistachios, almonds, hazelnuts, walnuts, and pepper.
That Jews didn't invite Sicily, so nobody knows when they first showed up. At the end of the 15th century, a Jewish community flourished in Palermo. The most relevant craft that the Jews took on in Palermo was butchery, allowing practicing Jews to distinguishing kosher from forbidden meat. Jewish butchers didn't ask for money in return for their work. They were paid in kind, being permitted to have offal from the butchered animals. They boiled and fried spleen, liver, and other humble parts and used them as filling for sandwiches. When King Ferdinand II of Aragon in 1492 formally expelled all Jews from Sicily, the ancient trade of Jewish mussari passed to Palermitans, who used to sell bread with cheese but had never entered the business of offal until then. During this period, the Palermitans began to sell pupanica meusta a frittola y sigiola.
The Spanish were the last great contributors to Sicilian cuisine. They brought the tomato that grow well in Sicily and is very important for the preparation of dishes such as pasta and pizza. They also brought chocolate, where it is still made in Modica, using the ancient Aztec recipe.
crocchè. Chi si opera camiosa? Chi si opera?
Panellen croquet sandwich, otherwise known as paniki panellen cazzilli, is one of the most famous street food of Palermo. Panelle have Arab origin since they ruled over Sicily between the 9th and 11th century BC. They are made by chickpeas flour, which is mixed with water and cooked until the mix turns into malleable dough. Then, cut and fried once cold. The croquettes or cazzilli, generally so called by Palermitani, so for their phallic shape, represent one of the most delicious food that one can taste in the Sicilian fried food shop. They are made with mealy potatoes, boiled and smashed in order to obtain these typical oval croquettes, then fried in deep oil. Panelle and croquet are inseparable and sometimes are eaten together in the same sandwich called mafalda or mufoletta and are often eaten between slices of bread or on a roll-like sandwich.
Le arancine are a fried rice ball that can be prepared in many different ways, with ragu sauce and green peas, with butter or with tomato sauce, with mozzarella, eggplant, spinach or mushroom. The name of the dish comes from the fact that arancini are small and orange in color, resembling little oranges. In Italian, arance. In Catania, they are shaped like pointy cones, while in Palermo, they possess a spherical shape.
Pane con milza, o pane cameusa. The origin of this dish seems to date back in the Middle Ages when the Jews living in Palermo worked as butchers. And since they couldn't take money for their job due to their religious beliefs, they were allowed to take home the offal of the butchered animals in reward. They then boiled the fried spleed along windpipe and used them along with cheese as sandwich filling that they sold to local gentles. The tradition is still alive among the Palermitan caciottari, cheese dealers, and many other street food dealers. Panini cameusa is a Sicilian street food. Literally, it name means bread with spleed. Its Italian name is panino con milza. It is a dish exclusively typical of Palermo and it consists of a soft bread, locally called vestedda or vastella, flavored with sesame stuffed with chopped veal's lung and spleed that have been boiled and then fried in lard. Caciocavallo or ricotta may also be added, in which case the panini cameusa is called. Maritatu, married, is served without cheese. It is called schietto, single. It is sold mainly by peddlers in Palermo's main markets as Bucceria and Ballarò.
Pasta con sarde or pasta with sardines is a traditional dish of Palermo. A According to tradition, pasta with sardines was invented by an Arab chef. The chef had to feed the military troops, so he elaborated a dish with what the nature of that place offered him. It was so that he joined the fish, represented by the sardines, and the flowers of the herb, wild fennel and pine nuts. It is cooked with fresh sardines, lemon, pine nuts, rations, and saffron all mixed in a delicious sauce and then eaten with bucatini, a type of spaghetti with a hole running toward the center.
Caponata is the most famous Sicilian appetizer. In ancient times, it was served as a single dish, accompanied by bread, but today is most often prepared as a side dish. Caponata is a mixture of fried vegetables, eggplant, peppers, zucchini, topped with tomato sauce, celery, onion, olives, and capers in a sweet and sour sauce.
Many believe that its origins are Arabic. The Arabs occupied Sicily for several hundred years. Their invasion began in 827 AD and they conquered Sicily in 902 AD. They introduced the cultivation of sugar, very sweet desserts, and the use of nuts and dried fruit in pastries. It is also likely that the name cassata may have come from Arab word kasa, a deep terracotta bowl that may even be used to shape the cake. Cassata consists of a round sponge cake moistened with fruit juice or liquor and layered with cottage cheese and candies. It is covered with a shell of marzipan, pink and green pastel-colored icing, and decorative designs. The cassata is topped with candied fruit and slices of citrus fruit characteristic of Sicily.
Cannoli are Italian pastries from Sicily. In Sicilian, cannolo, which means small tube. The traditional version of the cannoli originated in Palermo. They are of variable size from cannolucchi, no larger than a finger, and the ones very large of the south of Palermo, in Sicily, at Piana degli Albanesi. Originally, they were prepared for the carnival. Over time, preparation has lost its character of occasionality and is been widely disseminated on national territory, becoming a famous example of Italian pastry art in the world. Cannolis are made from simple ingredients. The outer shell has a cone shape and is fried. The creamy and sweet filling is usually made from ricotta. The cheese is sweetened with sugar and with chocolate and pistachios.
Bucellato. Its name derives from the late Latin bucellatum. The bucellato is the combination of figs, raisins, dates, and nuts, usually almonds, and candied citrus. All local Sicilian products, baked in a round cookie shell or as small pastries. The origins of the bucellato are obscured. Nobody knows exactly when Sicilians began making it. The point is that bucellato not only represented the good luck and prosperity of the harvest, it was a very rich food in itself. Today, bucellato is most often associated with the Christmas holidays.
Frutta martorana are traditional marzipan sweets in the form of fruits and vegetables from the provinces of Palermo and Messina. It was prepared for the first time in Palermo in the Benedictine monastery founded by the noblewoman Eloisa Martorana, from which both the buildings and suite take their name. The nuns cooked these sweets in the occasion of All Souls' Day. They were so proud of the beauty and abundance of the fruits of their garden that they wanted to celebrate them, making art reproduction with marzipan. They are traditionally put by children's bedside on All Saints' Day. Almond marzipan probably came to Sicily from Spain, where the Arabs may have introduced it during Middle Ages. However, there is no doubt that it was the Arabs who introduced sugarcane in both Sicily and Spain. and without this key ingredient marzipan could not exist.